Let me tell you something I've lived by my entire life, something most people never figure out. Real wealth isn't about the number of zeros in your bank account. It's about how many times in your life you can say no without flinching. People think being rich means a bigger house, a faster car, a watch on your wrist so damn complicated you can't even tell the time. They call that success. I call it a more expensive set of shackles. It's just a shinier form of slavery. Saying yes is easy. It's a survival instinct. Saying no, that's hard. That takes a backbone, a real foundation. Look at all those young people in sharp suits rushing down the street. Why are they sucking up to their boss on the phone? Why are they at some dinner party forcing a smile for someone they despise? Why do they give up their weekends with family for some god-awful team-building nonsense? That because they don't have the power to say no. Their mortgage, their car payments, their kids' tuition, next month's bills. It's all a set of invisible chains around their necks, forcing them to say yes, day in and day out. The essence of wealth is absolute control over your own time. Let me say that again. Asterisk, asterisk, absolute control over your own time. Asterisk, asterisk, money is just a tool to get you there. It has no meaning on its own. A lot of people get this backwards. They chase the number and sell off the most valuable thing they own, their time. They trade the best 20 or 30 years of their lives for the empty promise of a comfortable retirement. They think they're earning money, but they're really just cashing in their lives for a check that might bounce. It's not an investment. It's a terrible losing trade. That boss you despise, he's not buying your skills. He's buying your time. He's buying those hours of your life you can never get back. That job that makes you sick to your stomach. It's not just draining your energy. It's draining your soul, your passion for life. You wake up every morning, and the thought of going to work fills you with despair. You need to understand something. You're already bankrupt, not financially, but spiritually. And no amount of money can fix spiritual bankruptcy. I've seen so many of these so-called successful people. Their calendars are packed tighter than a king's dinner schedule. Back-to-back meetings and dinners from 6 a.m. to midnight. They look important, sure. But do they have time to sit down and read a book? Do they have time to spend an afternoon just playing catch with their kids in the park? Do they have time to do nothing at all? Just stare out the window at the clouds? No, their time isn't their own. They're slaves to their own success. Is that the kind of wealth you really want? So, before you start chasing wealth, you have to decide what you're really after. If it's just a number, that's easy. Go make the riskiest bets. Play the hot potato games. If you're lucky, you might get rich overnight. But money like that comes fast and goes faster because you don't have the temperament to match it. You're like a 3-year-old swinging a sharp axe. You're far more likely to hurt yourself than anyone else. The real path to wealth is slow and boring. It's nothing like the get-rich-quick stories you see on TV. It's more like planting a tree. You find a good patch of land, dig a deep hole, place the sapling, cover it with soil, and water it. Then all you have to do is wait. Day after day, year after year, you look at it and it doesn't seem to be changing. When the wind blows, you worry it'll fall over. When it rains, you worry the roots will rot. The whole process is filled with anxiety and uncertainty, and it's incredibly dull. But if you've chosen the right sapling and given it enough time, it will grow into a giant tree that nothing can move. This world is too damn loud. Everyone is yelling at you. Asterisk faster, go faster, asterisk. It's like slowing down is a sin. The so-called financial experts are selling you a new trick, a new model, a new trend every day. Today, this industry is the future. Tomorrow, that concept will let you leapfrog the competition. They're designed to make you anxious, to make you feel like you'll be left behind if you don't act times now. Asterisk. Listen to me. It's all noise. Their goal is to sell their courses and their products, not to help you. They make money by manufacturing anxiety, investing. Wisdom doesn't come from how much you do, but from how much you don't do. The vast majority of my wealth didn't come from frequent buying and selling. It came from sitting on my ass. I find a good company, a good sapling, and my work is done. The rest is up to time. Time is the best business partner you'll ever have. It turns good companies into great ones. It makes the snowball of compounding interest bigger and bigger. All those poor fools jumping in and out of the market every day, they're not investing, they're gambling. They're just paying hefty fees to their brokers and feeding the restless beast inside them. Humanity's greatest weakness is the inability to tolerate boredom. People would rather do the wrong thing than do nothing at all. In investing, that's fatal. When the market drops, they panic. They feel like they have to times do something asterisk, so they sell their best assets at the bottom. When the market soars, they get greedy. They're afraid of missing out, so they chase the hottest garbage at the top. They're always moving, and they're always wrong. The real winners know that when the storm hits, you close the window, brew a cup of tea, pick up a good book, and just wait. They know that panic itself is the greatest risk. You don't have to be a genius to get wealthy. You just have to avoid making catastrophic, stupid mistakes. This is what I call inversion, or thinking backwards. Don't ask how you can make the most money. Ask how you can guarantee you never lose everything. Buffett has 2 rules. Rule no 1, never lose money. Rule no. Never forget rule no 1. It sounds like a joke, but it's the most profound investment philosophy I've ever heard. To protect your principal, and you'll always have a seat at the table. As long as you're in the game, time and compound interest will do the work for you. The minute you're out, it's all over. The complicated financial statements and those dizzying stock charts. The first thing you need to conquer isn't the market, it's yourself. It's that greedy devil and that fearful coward inside of you. You can get to a place where you feel fearful when others are greedy, and you start to get greedy when others are fearful. You're on the right track. This isn't a technique, it's a discipline. It's about character. I knew a young fellow, brilliant kid, top-tier school, went to work for a big investment bank, studied dozens of companies a day, wrote 100-page reports. He knew every business inside and out. But over 10 years, he didn't make a dime. Why? He was too smart for his own good. His cleverness made him overconfident, made him trade constantly, always trying to predict the market's next move. He thought he could outsmart the market. The market taught him a lesson again and again. The market is a massive, chaotic system of human emotion and psychology. Nobody can predict it. The more you try, the more likely you are to get devoured. On the other hand, I know a farmer out in the country. He only ever bought one stock his whole life, a local telephone company. He didn't know a PE ratio from a cash flow statement. He just knew that everyone needed to make phone calls, and it was a steady business. So every year, he took his dividends and just bought more of the same stock. 30 years later, his wealth was dozens of times greater than that of the Wall Street genius. That's the power of simplicity. The farmer didn't win because he was smart. He won because he was still. He conquered his own human impulse to do something, and that's why he won. Until you have enough savings, don't touch anything you don't understand. Your most important job is to focus on your work, get better at what you do, and save your money. Now, yes, that old dusty word, asterisk, asterisk, frugality, asterisk, asterisk. Young people today look down on it. They think it's for the poor. They believe money is earned, not saved. That's only half the story. Your capital snowball is small. The only way to get it started is to carve out as much as you can from your income. Without that initial lump of snow, the highest rate of return in the world is still zero. And don't borrow money for consumption. Anything that lets you enjoy now, pay later, is poison. Stealing from your future self to subsidize your current self. You're cashing in your tomorrow for a handbag, a meal, or a vacation today. It's the stupidest trade you can make. Debt, especially consumer debt, is a wealth grinding machine that uses interest to chew up your hard-earned money, bit by bit. Until you've paid off all your consumer debt, you don't even have the right to talk about investing. Once you save up your first lump of cash, say 6 months of living expenses, you'll notice a change in your mindset. Your tolerance for your annoying boss will drop. You know that even if you slam your desk and walk out tomorrow, you'll be okay. They call this a courage fund. What it gives you isn't interest, it's the guts to say no. Then you keep saving a year of expenses, 2 years. You'll find your backbone gets a little straighter. Your view of the world becomes calmer. You stop getting anxious over petty things because you know you have a safety net. The accumulation of wealth is a journey from I have to I don't have to. At first, you have to do a job you don't like for the paycheck. Later, with some savings, you don't have to put up with the worst jobs. Later still, your assets start working for you, and their passive income covers some of your bills. Now, you don't have to do any times job you don't like just for the money. Finally, you reach a point where your passive income covers all your needs. That's the state you young people call financial freedom, the destination. It's the starting line. When you finally have the power to say no, you face a much deeper question. Asterisk, asterisk, what do you truly want to say yes to? Asterisk, asterisk, when you no longer have to work for a living, How will you spend the long years of your life? That question is a lot harder than how to make money. I've seen plenty of people who fought their whole lives, finally retired, and then fell apart within 6 months. They got sick, depressed. Their whole identity was tied up in work and making money. They won the game of wealth, but lost the game of life. So, on your path to wealth, never forget what kind of person you want to become. Your interests, your passions, the things you truly care about, that's the main act of your life. Money, at its best, is just a loyal servant. It's a tool that clears away obstacles so you can do what you were meant to do. If you make it your master, you are doomed to be its slave. You can take complete control of your time and spend it only on things you deem important. To spend an afternoon wrestling with a philosophical question that's bothered you for years. To spend a whole week taking your grandkids to the countryside to see fireflies. Pour yourself into a nonprofit that doesn't make a dime, but fills you with passion. And learn a new language. Practice an instrument. Write a book about your family's history. To people being chased by bills, these things seem like luxuries, completely useless. But for you, this is what life is about. The ultimate freedom that wealth gives you is the freedom to think. You're no longer entangled in the daily grind. You have the chance to ponder the fundamental questions. Who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? What is the meaning of life? There are no right answers, but the process of thinking about them makes you a richer, more complete human being. A rich man with a barren inner world is, in my opinion, far more pathetic than a happy poor man. Remember, you're not fighting for a number in a bank account. You are fighting to win back sovereignty over your own life. You are fighting for the day when you're faced with a person you despise, a deal you loathe, or a job you hate, and you can look them in the eye and calmly and firmly, without a hint of apology, say that one simple but heavyweight word, no. That right is the most precious thing money can buy. It's more luxurious than any mansion, sports car, or yacht. Because it allows you to become an independent, whole, and dignified human being again, not a spinning top, pushed around by life and shackled by desire. Once you understand this, you're finally on the right road to wealth. It's a long road, a slow road, maybe even a lonely one. But at the end of it, you won't find a mountain of gold. You'll find yourself, a free version of yourself, the master of your own destiny. That was the goal I fought for my entire life, and I hope it can be yours too. To stop staring at all that glittering garbage. Look up and see the vast, open sky that truly belongs to you.